And for those of you that don't understand that Miss Angie Stone climbed out the van on her own, she was instructed to sit down on the side of the road by a white person, and then she was ran over by a white person.
And see, I told y'all the story they told us, it didn't make sense. Out of 9 people in the van, how was Angie Stone the only person to die? See, we have to use our common sense. It's been 10 whole days. We haven't had any investigations. The truck driver, you had no update, no mugshot of the truck driver. The people in the van, you have no interviews. No one is saying anything like it never happened. Make it make sense. And then I said, wait. Early in the video, dude said it was a Caucasian woman that helped Angie Stone out of the van. And then I found this video of the woman. Check it out.
I hit by an 18-wheeler on the side of the interstate. I have pieces of the fender in my hair. I have it's oil all over my body. I'm gonna clean this up and I'm gonna get back to telling the story and I'll show you the footage. After driving the 6 hours home, showering, and processing it all, here's the story. About 4 a.m. on Saturday morning, me and my daughter were driving to Charleston, South Carolina for her Sweet 16 birthday getaway. We came up to a truck with a trailer and its flashers were on, so we slowed down some, and that's when I noticed there was an overturned vehicle in the fast lane. And it looked like it just happened. I pulled over, I put my flashers on, and I told my daughter to stay in the car. And I ran over, it was a van, and I ran over, and there were so many people in this van, and they were just trying to get out. And I asked if they'd called the cops, and they said, we're just trying to get out. And they were helping this woman out off the side of the van, and I grabbed her hand, and I helped her get down. And she seemed out of it, and I was holding her hand, and she was wobbling around. And I said, baby, you got to sit down. And then the next thing I know, I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something not ran over me, but brushed over me. Like something just swiped over my body. And I got up and I could hear screaming, and I just focused in on one screaming, and it was my daughter. And all I could do was run across the highway and tell her to get back in the car. She had to move the car because if somebody else hit us, it could hit her. So she moved the car farther up the interstate, and I called 911, and they said they were on their way. And then all I could think to do was get to my daughter. And that's all I could do in that time. And when I was walking to my daughter, we're really running the best that I can do. I was in so much pain. My chest felt like an elephant was sitting on it. My legs were so hurt and sore. And I looked up, and there was an 18-wheeler that had crossed the median into oncoming traffic. And I knew that's what hit me and ran over and brushed over me was the 18-wheeler.
And see, that's why I love TikTok. TikTok will show you what mainstream news don't show you, what they trying to hide from you. So I went to her account, and she's from Louisiana. Her last post was February 28th, the day before the accident happened, and she deleted the video. So I'm like, wait, let me read these comments. And then I saw this comment. The comment was from someone named Nancy. Nancy asks, what happened to the video? Courtney, the woman that helped Angie Stone, she said, the 18-wheeler video accident post? Then Courtney said, if that is the video you are referring to, the family asked to take it down. Out of respect, the video is now private. So it all makes sense now. That's why no one is fighting back. That's why it seemed like they rushing for this funeral to happen. No one is trying to fight back and figure this stuff out. You even see her daughter. Her daughter was online begging for cash apps. I'm like, damn, you're not trying to find out how your mother died, because what they told us, it didn't make sense. The van flipped over, then the truck hit the van, and she was the only one to die. That didn't make sense. But I always tell y'all in my videos, everyone is on the same team when it comes against our people. The cops on the same team, the trucking companies on the same team, the lawyers, the judges, the prisons, the hospital, they all against us when it comes to something like this. When you speak up against the industry, I'm telling you, they team up against our people. Because I was thinking, if this woman says the truck hit her too, why the news never covered her? Why the news never said anything about her? And again, this is why I love TikTok. On TikTok, you go catch the truth. On YouTube, a lot of times these major news networks, they not gonna tell you the truth. They just go tell you what they want to tell you, especially because a lot of these news outlets, they have ties to the record labels. I'm telling you, they all on the same team. And look, when it comes to me, I love to sit back and think. As a truck driver, I'm thinking, this truck driver had time to stop. So why didn't he stop? Why in this picture, you see his truck go across the median? Why did he go across that median? If he didn't have time to stop, if he wasn't paying attention, he should be in jail because he unalived somebody. Or did he do it on purpose? Did he see that she didn't die? Was he sent? Was he paid to hit her on purpose? Because the woman said she survived. Angie Stone got out of the van. So she was alive still. Why no one talking about that? Why no one in the van making videos about what really happened? Did they sign an NDA? What happened? Well, you do have one person that said something. Her name is Sharita Murphy. She was in the van. She told the driver of the Sprinter van to slow down before they start flipping. Why no one talking about that? I feel like all along he knew what was going on. And like I said earlier, the truck driver drove for a company called CRST. Why is no mugshot? Why is no updates? Me as a truck driver, if I was to come through Alabama and hit and run over and unalive a legendary Caucasian singer, I'm telling you, I would not make it out of Alabama alive. They would arrest me and they would say, oh, something happened to him while he was in jail. I'm telling you how it goes. My mugshot would be everywhere. They will make videos. Man, I'm online. I can't find no pictures of this dude. All they say is a 33-year-old man from Texas. They gave his name, but it's no pictures. It's nothing. I'm like, damn, if that was me, it'll be on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, Google, every site, Snapchat. It'll be on every site. So we need them to keep that same energy. And it's crazy. None of her family or her loved ones is even trying to figure this stuff out. These people not giving you the real information. And then I found this information. CRST does not use driver-facing cameras, but they do have outward-facing cameras. So where's the footage? And as a truck driver, we already know if you slam on brakes too hard, that red light is going to come on and start recording everything that's in front of the truck. If you too close to somebody, that red light is going to come on. If you touch your cell phone, that red light is going to come on and start recording. Where's the footage of that accident? And it's crazy how no article said anything about the cameras that's on the truck. They ain't even mention it. And we know she died. The accident happened 5 miles from Montgomery, Alabama. And I found this out. Yes, I-65 near Montgomery, Alabama likely has traffic cameras, as many highways in Alabama, including I-65, are monitored by the Alabama Department of Transportation or local law enforcement with live traffic camera feeds available on Alabama DOT's traffic website. So again, where's the footage? It's 2025. Y'all see everything else. When that shooting happened in Florida with Julio Fulio, the rapper, y'all recorded everything. So this is Alabama. Where is the footage? It's 2025. You have cameras everywhere. You didn't even mention the footage. That's crazy. Make it make sense. And see, a lot of people don't know that company CRST, that truck driver that unalived Angie Stone, that was the same company that tried to unalive Tracy Morgan, the comedian Tracy Morgan, and they had to pay him $90 million. And see, it's two trucking companies I really hate, CRST and Western Express. At CRST, I'm telling you, They steal money from the drivers. They don't fix their trucks. They scam their drivers. Ask anybody who ever drove for CRST or they drive from now. They steal from the drivers. They pay them late. They are real criminals. The dispatchers, the owners of CRST, they are real life criminals. So I sit back. I'm like, who would they pay? Did they pay CRST to do this? Because why did their truck driver have to cross over the median to, have that accident? If it was an accident and he was falling asleep or he was on his phone, he wasn't paying attention, he should be in jail. We should have a mugshot. But see, everybody just crossed over that. Nobody even thinking about that. Like I say, this happened Mardi Gras weekend. This happened the next day you had the Oscars award. See, they want to keep us distracted. But me, I told you on my channel, I let nothing slide. Make it make sense. And then you have to sit back and think. We have no professional pictures of the accident scene. The only proof we have is from people passing by and recording and taking pictures on their cell phone inside of their car. Why don't we have professional pictures? Make it make sense. It's crazy. And I'm telling you, the game is cold. Angie Stone just announced she was going on tour this year and next year in the UK. She announced that. And I step back and I say, damn, Michael Jackson did the same thing. In February, I think it was like 2012. I forgot the year, or 2009 when he passed away. But in February, he announced that he was going on tour in the UK also. And months later, like 18 days before his tour date started, he was unalive. Make it make sense. I'm telling you, to my people that's creators, you content creator, you are a singer, a rapper, a painter, whatever you do, photographer, whatever you do, you don't have to sign to these people. You don't have to sign over your rights to make more money, to get more attention. We live in a new day and age. We have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Snapchat, you have TikTok, you have all these outlets now. You don't need to sign to these people and sign your life away, because I promise you, once you sign to these people, they own you. They gonna pay you money up front because they know you broke. They know you need the money. Don't accept their money. I'm telling you, all money is not good money. So shout out to Angie Stone. We love you and we thank you for speaking up and exposing these people. And here's a little clip from Angie Stone. I'm out.
And mainly is to show you that I will not go down without a fight. I'm going to continue to roll. I didn't go to the Grammys, not because I couldn't go and not because I wasn't invited. I didn't go because the industry is set up in such a way that the elite, if you know what I mean, the elite get front row seats, front consideration, first thought of. The ones that are the underdogs are the ones that don't get invited, get cut out. You have not conformed to the way of the industry. And my thing is, I've been so blessed to maintain all my life. I promise you, I will give it all back because the power in my life lies in Christ. At the end of the day, if I had none of it, it wouldn't change my heart for Christ. Why? Because those things don't make me. I make those things. And when I say that, I don't say it in a bragging rights way, but you got to find a pivotal way to sustain your joy. You got to find a way to find the creature comforts of life without selling out.